Recording. Hello, everyone. I'm Giselle Aguiar, and I've been doing internet marketing since 1995. I've been on LinkedIn since the summer of 2008. And when I started my business in 2011, I started blogging and sharing articles to LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter equally. And after a couple of months of steady content marketing, I looked at my website's analytics and I saw that after the search engines, LinkedIn was driving the most people to my site. Well, that convinced me to spruce up my company profile, my personal profile and company page, and get serious about it. Since then, now because of COVID put a halt to live networking events in 2020, business people have flocked to LinkedIn and stayed there. Microsoft, who owns LinkedIn, started adding new features and more features and more features. And today I'm going to cover all the new features on the LinkedIn business pages or the company pages. Last week, I covered the personal profile or the white pages side, your resume side. I'll have that video available in the PDF that you'll be getting of the slides. And there's going to be links to more resources there also. So let's dig in. Well, first of all, before you start building company pages, you do have to have a personal profile, okay? So LinkedIn has two aspects: the personal profile, which is like the white pages, which is basically your resume, and showcasing your expertise and who you are, and then the business or company profile, which is like the yellow pages. So if you own your own business, your profile should not give the impression that you're looking for a job. It's about making connections. And I always say it's not who you know, it's who your friends know. And you want to become known as an expert in your field or industry and establish credibility. This LinkedIn helps tremendously with reputation management and Google searches. Okay, somebody else is coming in. Oh gosh, wait a second. Hold on. That open. All right. Okay. You need to have all your information in there, especially in the contact information. So, and I'll show you what that looks like. It's just really important because people need to know how to contact you if they're interested in what you have to show. Please stay muted until we're done with the presentation. Welcome. So you have your headline, which it gives you more space. So it's who you are and what you do, your position in current company. Be honest. Don't be too generic. How can you help someone? You have the space, use it. And you want to click on the pen icon to edit. And then you can upload the cover. And then once your company page is set up, your logo will appear on your personal profile page. You are connected to your company page as an employee, basically. Okay. So, and then you can, the personal cover graphic is 1584 by 395 pixels. Okay. And you can change that one by clicking on the pen icon there. And it's a different size than the company page ones. Don't ask me why. They just want to make it more difficult for us. I use the free tool Canva. If you want to create a graphic or just upload a picture, you can do that. Make sure you don't take a small picture and try to stretch it to fit because it will look fuzzy. Okay. And Canva really doesn't have the correct templates for this because LinkedIn keeps changing them all the time. If you add text to the cover graphic, be careful that it's not obstructed by your profile picture. Okay, and this is the contact information again, which is really important. You can add your website in here. If you want people to call you, you put your phone number there, not your email address. Okay, so you can add your Twitter accounts in here, and then you can post automatically to both LinkedIn and Twitter if you're sharing like from a website. But these website links are creating legitimate backlinks to help with SEO. All right, so we're here to talk about company pages, okay? So, and these are like the yellow pages on LinkedIn. So on your personal profile, it should not have your company name nor your logo. It should be you, who you are. People connect with people and people follow companies. So you want to think of these as an extension of your website. It's a free listing and a free billboard. And as you can see, in the cover graphic dimensions on the company pages are slightly different. Okay. So again, make sure text is not cut off or covered. This is part of your online image. I'll mention something else in a minute here. But again, Canva, the free graphics tool, is great. It's got images in there you can use. And it's just really easy to use. And I love it. I create all my graphics on there. Now, how you create a company page if you don't already have one, on the upper right-hand corner, you're going to click on Work in the menu bar, and then that will open up this menu. And at the very, very bottom, you'll see Create a Company Page. Okay. So first you have the company overview. Okay, you can have up to 2,000 characters including spaces. So you have the space, use it. So your description should be keyword centric. Someone else coming in. Okay. Please stay muted. Okay. So you have you have all this space, so use it. So descriptions should be keyword centric. Add your website to it. Okay. This is another backlink. Say, do some keyword research to find the most popular search terms that are relevant to your business. And in the PDF that you're going to get later this afternoon, I have a link to an article that I have talking about several different keyword research tools that are available for free. So you can just find out what people are searching for exactly in regards to your field or industry. Then you can put in up to 20 specialties. Okay, so these again are keywords that help you come up in searches. So it's important. So, and think of other ways to say the same thing. So you can actually create your own keywords. Now, some of the more popular ones will come up, like, social media, marketing, content marketing, and that kind of thing. But you can put in your own keywords in there if you don't see what it is you do in these. But the whole idea is when people are searching for what you have to offer, you come up. Because I mean, LinkedIn has its own internal search engine that is just as good as Google is. And then you've got, this is in the whole setup of the company profile page. So you have the call to action button. So what do you want people to do? I like using the learn more rather than visit website. It's a better command. And if you use the others, put a clear call to action in the cover graphic or banner. You know what I mean by that? Okay, you have register or sign up, which is basically the same thing. So like if you're promoting an event, you can make a banner graphic for that, and you want people to register or sign up, then you can put it there. There's other places to promote events on there, and I'll show you that. Again, depending on what it is you want them to do. Unfortunately, I don't know, because this comes up because I'm a service. If I had products to sell, if I was e-commerce, I don't know if you have Shop Now available in there. They change these all the time, but that's just it. I just prefer the learn more, because if somebody just visits you for the first time, they really need to learn more about what you have to offer. So that's where your website comes in. So it's important to have your website. Then you have hashtags. Okay, the hashtag is the # in front of a word or a phrase that makes it clickable and searchable. So when someone clicks on a hashtag, everything with that hashtag comes up. So on LinkedIn, people can follow hashtags. So the trick here is to do, before you choose, you only allow 3. So before you choose which hashtags you're going to use, do a search of the ones that the hashtags you think are relevant to your business, to see which have the most people following them. Sometimes just a word difference will increase your reach. For instance, hashtag social media was one, but I wanted to get more specific with hashtag social media strategy. You know, and but then the other thing is you want to use these hashtags consistently in your posts. Okay. So, so I mean, it works like you're familiar with Instagram, and Instagram people can follow hashtags also. So so they'll see your posts and your page come up when people clicking on these hashtags. Okay, now and there's several different places to fill out information about your company and all this. So complete your setup by going through each of the items in the left-hand menu. Again, you have the space, use it. And I'll get to featured groups in a minute. So once your page is set up, you can view it as a member to make sure it looks good and makes sense to a first-time visitor. You'll know if you're in member mode or admin mode by the URL, okay? And I'll show you that when we go live. And it will look different in admin mode. And like for instance, I was working on a showcase page, and I noticed some text was cut off with the logo in the member mode, but it wasn't in the admin mode. It wasn't until I clicked on view as a member that actually showed it differently. So I'm like, okay, I got to go edit the graphic again. And on the right, the upper right, you have admin tools. Okay, so here is where you can invite your connections to follow your page. Okay, you can invite up to 100 people each month, and then you get 100 more credits at the beginning of the next month. Okay, so you can sort people by location, company, school, and or industries, and you'll be notified when someone accepts your invitation. Okay, here's where you can also create an event. Okay, upload a graphic. It's a 16:9 aspect ratio, so it's a horizontal strip. It's a banner. So you want to create a unique banner for the event with the free the free graphics tool, Canva. I use it for everything. But make sure the text isn't cut off and that it looks good. This one's, of course, they're all different sizes, and it's actually a pain, but so you might have to play with it a little bit. You know, like I was trying to find one for a social media one, and I'm like, okay, the text is too small. Okay, so I'll go find another graphic, you know, and so you have to play with it for a little while because you don't want to be rushed. You don't want to be sloppy. So this is part of your online image, your online reputation. So you want to always have quality graphics on there. And then follow the steps to fill out all the pertinent information. And once completed, you can share it as a post on the page as well as your personal feed, and you can invite connections to the event. So that's what I do when I put all of these webinars together. So I set it up on LinkedIn, and I go through my list. Okay, who do I think will be interested in this? And I just invite. Okay, so from the admin tools, you can also create a showcase page. Okay, so these are sub pages off your main page, and you can highlight or showcase specific products or services. And it works just like your main company page. You can post, share, and invite people on it too. So from the admin tools, you go and then you select to create a showcase page. Then you get this form. So first you want to put the page that it's supposed to sit under. So obviously, like mine will be AC Social Media Wiz, my main page. And then you put the name of the showcase page or the service or the product that you're selling. And then as you're typing your name, it's going to create the public URL. So it's got to be a unique URL to that page. And I was doing one for SEO copywriting, and somebody kind of sort of beat me to that already. So I can't use that one. I had to add something else to the word. And then if you have, hopefully you have a website page dedicated to that product or service, and that's where you can put the link right underneath that, and that's another back link. Okay, and then you select your industry and what it is, and just fill out the information. You can upload a picture. And then you can also upload a logo, you know, a square picture. They want a 300 by 300 square. and then in the next step, you can add the banner. Okay, so this was what it looks like. So I just did 2 new showcase pages. So notice I have my call to action button as learn more. So again, think of it, if someone doesn't know who you are and comes across this page because of the hashtags, again, you can pick your hashtags and everything here. You've got the same 2,000 characters in the about section to fill it in. So you're going to come up in searches. So your website will come in to educate them on how your product or service can be a benefit to them. Okay, so this is like an extension of your website, like putting up a billboard. So when you put up a billboard, you only have so much limited space to put your message on a billboard, but you instruct people to go here, okay, to learn more. All right. Now, from your main page, okay, your showcase pages will appear on the right. Okay, so people can follow your showcase pages. So post relevant content there. For instance, share in-depth blog article or video on the topic to educate your potential customer. All right, now you have page admins. Okay, so similar to Facebook, you can have admins with various roles. Okay, you have the super admin, so it's a manager who can manage everything on the page, and it's the only role that can edit the page and manage other admins. Then you have the content admin. So this role posts and manages comments as the page and exports and can view and export analytics. Then you have your curator. So this role recommends content for employees to post. I mean, this is for larger companies, and can view and export analytics. And then you have your analyst, which views and exports analytics on LinkedIn and will have limited access on third-party partner tools. Okay. So, and it depends. So if you're working with, with somebody that you've outsourced your content, let's say, so you just want somebody to just post stuff, but you don't want this person to be a super admin and take people out and and do stuff that way. Whoever you add as an admin has to be connected to you. Okay, so you just can't add people, whomever. They have to be connected to you first for you to add them in there. Okay. And I have a link in the PDF where on to LinkedIn's article on this exact more details on this side. Then if you have employees, you can add an approved email domain so that employees can verify they work at your organization. And this can be used to access the My Company tab or to post a job on LinkedIn on behalf of the company. And again, I have a link in the PDF to where you can learn more about this on LinkedIn itself. And I mentioned the My Company tab. Oops, back up. All right. And this only applies, and you can only see this if you have employees, and will show if you have more than one admin. So when I was working with SCORE, I was an admin and they had several people that can access this page. Like I couldn't see this on my page because I'm the only admin. Okay. So if you're looking for this My Company thing and you don't see it, that's because you don't have employees or you don't have other people as admins. Then you've got content suggestions. Okay, so under content, you have to be in the admin mode. You'll find the content suggestions, and so you'll get what LinkedIn thinks is good content for you, or you can, in the lower right, you can add an industry, but they don't have all industries there because I did social media and I got social networking platforms. And marketing didn't come up, but advertising services did. So, and they're really two different things. But at any rate, you can skim through these. And if you want to share it to your page, you can do that by just clicking the share button, and just makes it easy. So you have trending articles. Now, if you're in a company that has, that is large and has employees and that comes out in the news, stuff will come up under company news, and then you'll get employee milestones if you post those also. Okay, analytics. I mentioned analytics before. So analytics gives you the data on your visitors, your updates, who viewed them, who commented on them, who shared it, and other engagement, and your follower count. Okay, you can see some data about your followers. But again, whatever you need to know from this, that will help you to just to be able to understand who your followers are, and to be able to share content that's more interesting to those followers. Okay, and then we've got competition. Now, this is something Facebook has had for a long time. I mean, ever since Facebook came out with their pages, they always had, once you have 100 likes or followers on Facebook, you can start seeing or tracking other competitors' pages. So this is really helpful. Like, I worked with a guy who has a business in Prescott, and he really only had one formidable competitor. So it was a great tool for him to see how often they're posting, what they're posting, how many followers do they have, to then track to see what they're doing. And they don't know you're doing this. So this is a great way to keep tabs on the competition, because you really want to you want to know what they're doing so that you can beat them to the higher rankings on the Google search results page. So keeping track of them here is a great idea to do this, and you can track up to 9 pages. Okay. Then here's featured groups. So back on the setup or edit mode, you go to featured groups, and you can feature 3 groups that you are in. Okay, you have to join groups as yourself. You can only post in groups as yourself, at least for now. On Facebook, however, some groups allow you to join as your company page, not so on LinkedIn yet. And the group also has to be a public group. If it's a private group, it will not come up. It will not allow you to add it here. So it has to be a public group. Now, to find groups, up in the right-hand corner, you click on work and then go to groups. And here's where you can find a network with like-minded people. You can find your target market, industry leaders, peers, and referral sources. So sometimes, like Lara, you were mentioning that, so you want to connect with contractors in your area in Texas, period, right? So you might want to find, search for residential contractors, Texas, and see what comes up, and play with the keywords until you find the different groups in there, because they're exact searches. Like, so this is just a few of them here. So you can share content and then be known for your expertise. Each of these groups have rules. Some of them are more lenient than others. Some are rather strict. So don't over spam or overshare, or don't spam at all. You don't want to spam anybody. Because you'll get scolded first, and then you'll get kicked out. Okay, so, but this is where you go to network and to either find people in your industry peers, see what's going on, or you can or connect with potential target audience, or again, referral sources. So when you're searching for groups from the home page, you enter keywords, location, industry, etc. Now, again, these are exact searches. So you're going to play around with the search terms to find groups to join. You also have alumni groups and associations, and you'll see the number of members. And then you can click on the group to see how active they are. And you want a group where people are active. Join as yourself, again, not as your company page. When you find an interesting group, look to see how many members it has, read the about section. If it's a group where you think you can find, again, referral sources, industry information, you can click request to join. Now, if it's a public group, you'll just see join. A private group, the owner or moderator will approve your membership. They'll look at your profile, so make sure it's complete before you start joining groups. And this is why it's good to have your picture. You look like a person. Okay. Now, you can write an article on LinkedIn, and from home, you can start a post by writing or sharing the link, share a photo. But the trick here is to write an article. And so I repurpose articles from my website, and it's okay to copy and paste it. But at the bottom of the article, put this article originally appeared on, and then a link back to the original article on your website. That way, Google knows to give authority to your website post rather than the LinkedIn one. So, and within the article, and I explain the article writing in more detail in the webinar I did last week. So that video, the link to that video is going to be in the PDF here. So here is where you can publish as your page or as yourself. Which one depends on who wrote the article. If a coworker or a partner wrote it, then you go and do it as your company, as in your company page. This helps with credibility and expertise. And you can put it on both for extra exposure. The other thing is, how many followers do you have on your personal one, and how many followers are on your company page? Now, usually your company page has less followers than you are because you've been connecting with people longer than you've had the company. So again, it depends on which one, what just makes more sense. And so this is what their publishing platform looks like. So actually, this is the old one. I need it. It's been updated because now you can create a newsletter. Okay, but in the headline, you can also tag people in the articles now, and you can also add hashtags. So you'll be, depending on how you if you write it as yourself or as the company, that will be the picture that shows up next to the post or in the article. Okay. And I mentioned create a newsletter. I didn't show it in the screenshot there, but you'll see it when I go live. This is a new feature. Okay. You can, it'll be on the right-hand side under where the hashtags are. When you're looking at your page, you can create a newsletter. So here, I tested this when I was working with SCORE, and you can only add one article, but people can subscribe to the newsletter and get an email when you publish an article as a newsletter. But it's only one article. For me, that's not a newsletter. For me, that's just you're subscribing to posts. For me, a newsletter has several articles. It has other calls to action. So it's kind of a misnomer here using the word newsletter. But you can you end up publishing the article as a newsletter. I just wasn't impressed with this whole thing, so I don't know. I mean, I know some other people have them. I've been invited to subscribe to newsletters and things like that, but I'm like, well, I subscribe to your other email, or I follow your blogs on an online reader, so I don't need to get another email. So it's a new feature, and that's what I'm telling you guys. I just don't think it's that great of a thing here. So when you're posting as your page, so you can you don't want to just create your page and forget it. So you want to post regularly on it. And when you can also use some third-party tools like Sendable. That's like my favorite scheduling tool, to post directly to your company profile pages. It has to be relevant content and not just your stuff. Before I used to say just stick to your stuff, but now as you can post other industry relevant content on there. And when you post to your page, you can add to your post a photo, a video, a document, create a poll, create an event. So these are the different things that you can do. And so again, And then, but one of the things I've tried to do polls, and that's like, not enough people respond to it. So, and I see other people's polls, and sometimes, I mean, if it's relevant, I'll answer the question. And they get a lot of people. So I guess it depends on how active you are on LinkedIn, how many followers you have, and so if people actually will participate in your polls. So this is, in fact, this was a poll I did a search for hashtag social media strategy, and this poll came up, which was interesting too. It says, what's your favorite social media platform for your growth in 2022? And of course, this was on LinkedIn. So of course, people are going to pick LinkedIn, right? You're only allowed four choices there to put in there, so that's why you have others and comment underneath there, because they put Instagram and Twitter, they didn't put Facebook. I don't know. Anyway, I just thought this was interesting, and the result was interesting. All right, this is my book for to help you to guide you for if you want to learn how to do it all yourself, and step by step, easy to follow. Everything from goal setting to hashtags, which networks to focus on, how to beat the competition, how to drive traffic to your website, what type of content to create, create your own customized strategic and tactical plans. And it's what you need to take your digital marketing to the next level. So I'll be sending everybody a link to get your free Define Your Target Market workbook, along with the video of this this webinar. And I'd be happy to do a free 15-minute phone consultation with any of you, and take a look at your website, your social media, and do a little brainstorming and see and see how it can all work for you. Okay, so this is my contact information. It will be in the PDF, and I also have some articles here on LinkedIn. And so again, these links will be live on the PDF. So I'm going to go live on LinkedIn now, and if you would like to, wrong button here. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing one screen and go to the other screen. So if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask the question, or you can, yes.
Hi, Giselle. This is Laura again from Dallas. On the content part where it finds stuff to share, I have not seen that on my company page. Do you have to have so many followers before it shows up?
I don't think so.
I thought I had gone through everything, but I just don't recall that. But do you share as your, do you get a choice to share as the person or the company, or is it just automatically shared?
No, because you're on the company page. That would be automatically sharing to the company. Let me yeah, because I have it in mine. Yeah, I have it here. So you make sure you're viewing. If you're viewing it as a member, you're not going to see it.
Right.
You have to view it as an admin, and you'll have that menu bar here.
Okay. All right. Okay. Great. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So from home. Okay. This is the home feed. Okay. And this is an example. I have some. Various trusted sources that are posting directly into my page using Deliverr. It's an automatic posting tool that I use, and it's free to a point. Okay, but you can and so you can set up the RSS feeds from several different sources, and it posts automatically, because some of these people, I couldn't have written this better myself. So that's why I like posting them, and people know that I post stuff anything regarding digital marketing. All right, so if you do not have a page, again, you got to go to work and then create a company page, and then just follow the steps. Okay, so and here you could also create a showcase page from here too, but it's going to ask you for your main page first. So you have to, here you put your business, whatever you are, and then just, follow the steps as you go to create it. Okay, let's go to my page. Okay, so okay, I am in the member view, but I lost my admin view. Sometimes technology doesn't work the way it's supposed to. So yeah, and again, sometimes these new features, because this is a relatively new feature, sometimes these new features are doing what they call a rollout. So not everybody sees it at the same time. So it could be, Laura, that they're still rolling this out and not everybody's seeing it yet. And that's a little frustrating because it's like, I want that feature. I mean, you don't have it yet. So here's where you edit your graphic. You can upload image. It actually tells you the size of the graphic here, which is nice. It didn't used to tell you that. So here is where you invite connections. So I have 250 credits available. That's nice. Okay. So I can search by name. I can search by location. And you can't just, I wish you could just do all, but you can't. So you have to go through here. Like a lot of people are retired, or so so I just click on different people to share it, and if they work for if they work for themselves, if they work for a government office. I usually don't, so it depends on it is. And so then you just hit invite 3, and they will be notified that I've invited them, and if they accept my invitation, then I'll see the notifications here.
I got a question.
Okay. Go ahead. Hey, yeah, that's what we're here. Right.
If you can back up, let's see, you were talking about, let me just ask you about the inviting people.
Okay.
Does it take them out of the queue to invite if you've already invited them, or
yes, it'll say invited. It'll
okay.
Yeah. So if you search by somebody's name, so you won't see them here. See here? That's the guy I just invited. That's the guy I just invited. So he's invited already, and you don't see the box over here.
Right. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And then back to, you were talking about your banner on the page, and I noticed it says download your copy now. Can you make that banner be a link somewhere, like to the place where they would download it?
No. Okay. It goes, unfortunately, no. And then that's why I have learn more. So, and it goes to the page of where the do I have it?
Where the download is.
I have to go. So it's going to the page where that is, so that there's more information. Unfortunately, they don't have like the choices. You don't have download now would be really good. So when you click on edit page, so here's where you have your buttons. So you go to your buttons here. So you don't have the choice. You have contact us, learn more, register, sign up, or visit website. So the learn more is just a better command. That just makes more sense. So that's learn more. Unfortunately, you don't. I wish they had download now. That would make a lot of sense. To really make it good. Fortunately. So, but yeah, that's the thing. Unfortunately, you can't link this. You can't. What you can do is when you have a post. So let's say I wanted to do a promo post for this. Is I can go here and I can pin to the top. So I have the post, which is the promo there. So and it will stick it to the top. And this is something you can also do on Twitter and on Facebook. And you can, so when somebody lands on your business profile, it'll be stuck to the top, and then you just take it down whenever the promo's done, or like promoting an event or something. So okay, so admin tools here. So here's, go ahead. Yes.
And I think this is like really, really basic, but I feel like I'm still really basic with LinkedIn.
That's okay.
this whole concept of personal and business is interesting to me because I am confident I only have a personal page. I am a solopreneur,
Right.
and so I'm listening to, oh man, there's another place that I've got to post content on. So what I'm asking is, your content is different on your personal page than on your company page. Is that correct?
Not necessarily. I mean,
Okay.
it could be the same. I mean, it could be the same. I've got them posting to both, but at different times. They're scheduled to post at different times.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah, because I mean, obviously, I've got like over 4,000 followers here, but on my business page, I only have like 250 something. I think I saw. So they have 215 followers. You know, so obviously, anything that I post on my personal profile has the chance of getting a higher reach.
Right.
Yeah, so I have stuff scheduled you know, to post in both places. Like here's the blogging mistakes one that was on the other, it was over
Okay.
there too, you know, so I posted in both.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just at different times. And so
right,
probably,
right.
so
See,
probably we're reaching different people.
yeah, I use this tool called Deliverit,
Okay.
which it goes by the RSS feeds. Okay, so these are the RSS feeds I have sharing on there already. So like Copy Blogger, it's going to Facebook, it's going to my company page, and then it's also going to my Twitter and my personal LinkedIn. So you see, it's going to all four of them. So every time Copy Blogger sends, you know, publishes a new article, within minutes they pulled it out. Like this was 3 hours ago, and that and their algorithm will go check it, you know. So all the time. So I've got mine in here too. So every time I publish something, you know, so then it'll automatically get fed out to everything. Yeah, and I think I also have it going to I thought I have Pinterest too. Okay, I guess not. All right.
Okay. So then
Yeah.
here's another crazy question about that. When
Okay.
most people are part of LinkedIn, um, are they typically following a person rather than a company? I mean, maybe you can't even answer that question, but I'm trying to
They'll
really,
connect first. Usually they connect first to the person,
okay,
because the person, that's the first thing they'll see. Okay, so when you
okay,
do when you send a connection request, like I go to my network, I'll get pending invitations will be here, or I'll get the notification. And then you have your connections here. Now you'll see if I go back here a minute. So I have more followers than I have connections, because people can follow somebody without being connected to them. Like I can follow Elon Musk. I really doubt if I'm gonna be ever connected to him.
great.
You know, so and then, you know, so LinkedIn will suggest people in your, you know, in your industry based on your profile of what, you know, who you might be interested in. Okay, so that's the first thing. See, that's why when you create a business page, you have to invite people to follow your page, because they don't automatically follow you.
Okay, so basically, part of the difference is that a person can, well, they can actually choose to do both, can't they?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really trying to get my handle on the fact that there are two things. I don't think I knew that that there was a
Don't
separate company
don't
page.
feel bad. Many people do the same thing. I looked at somebody
Okay.
else's page one time, and they had their logo on their personal profile, and it says, no, it's two separate things. Like one's like the white pages, that's your personal one, and then the yellow pages is your company profile. And the thing
Okay,
is when you search up here, okay, so let's search I'm looking for photographers. I'm asked for that a lot. Photographer. So if I search for photographer, okay, so here I can search for people. Here I could search for groups. I could search for companies.
ah,
So if a person usually, so if a person has their business page, so I click on here, and so you'll see only just
Companies.
the companies with it. And here you see follow buttons, so people can follow
Ah,
follow the companies, okay, without even being connected to the employees. Okay,
Right.
and so yeah, or you go to people, and then it will come up with your people. And it's funny, I used to have more photographers in my level 1. I don't seem to have any more.
So it'll be,
It's
so it'll
funny.
be an individual who is a photographer, may have
Exactly,
their
with
own
the word
business, maybe.
photographer in there, in their title, they'll come up first, and so your seconds will come up first. So so and usually, if like in this case, I don't have any more number 1s. That's happened too with my graphic designers, if they've all like gone to do something else, or my a good friend of mine who is, well, she's just too busy, she can't take new business. So I have to go in and searching for people, and at this point I just tell people, go search for somebody yourself, because I can't help you. They're not directly connected with me, okay, but they're coming up. There are photographers in Phoenix, in the various areas, so and I could send them, I can just send them this link, and they'll just go right to the search results here. But that's how the searches work. So
Okay.
yeah. Okay, do you get it now? Do you grasp the difference?
Your analogy about yellow pages and white pages is very helpful. And so I think that in keeping that in my mind, I can understand it's important to be in both the yellow pages and the white page. Right now,
Right.
I'm just in the white pages, but
Okay.
for a different level of validity and credibility, you'd want to have a company page, correct?
Exactly. So then you're going to want to go here to work, and then create a company page, and then just follow the steps on
Hey, Mary.
that.
Mary, this is Laura again. The way I had trouble getting my head around this too, but someone pointed out that people want to connect with people, not
Yes.
with companies. So they
Yeah.
need space, and so that's why you need both. But
Yeah,
like you
it's like when
said,
you're going to the joining the Chamber of Commerce. Okay, so you go to a networking event. You're not walking around with a paper bag on your head. Okay, so you're connecting people to people, face to face. But most chambers have a directory online where people can search for the companies by what by what it is that they have to offer. Okay, so
Right.
so that's how it works. That's
Yes.
basically how it works. Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, you're welcome. Welcome, no problem. Okay, so here you can put your events. Okay, so if you're like, I have my class, the classes here, and here are the hashtags. Okay, so again, you get 3 hashtags, and now see, they added this is brand new because this wasn't here before. They added the number of followers. This is a brand spanking new feature because it wasn't there before. Okay, and I'm so glad they did this because it is so difficult to go and search for these hashtags one by one. So here you just pick a few, and boom, it's there. Okay, so see, I used to have digital marketing strategy. And then I realized that cutting the word strategy out, I'd get more visibility with 27 million followers rather than, there were a few 100,000 on the other one, so I thought this is a brand new feature they just added. You see, so they're constantly adding stuff, and people, and people will send them feedback and complain about stuff, and you'll see that, oh, this got better. Okay, so that's the idea. They're trying to make it easier and better for you. So here you'll have just an overview of your analytics here, of how many times you come up in searches and how many visitors and so forth. So it takes time to sort through all the invite connections here, so it's like, okay, I don't know, all right, and then it just takes some time to get it built up. You can also, on your website, put a link to both your personal profile and your company profile on your page, so people can follow, can decide which one they want to follow. Yeah, so your analytics will tell you, will give you information on your visitors, how many they came, the unique visitors. You also have, let's take a look, see what there. So your follower metrics. So, and you get some demographics here. So you get your, so where they're from, and this is new. This is relatively new, of all your seeing your actual followers. This is relatively new. Before you weren't able to see this. So here you can actually see all your followers. So you have an idea of who's here too. So you might want to, oh man, I talked to this person and they were having trouble doing this, and that. So maybe you want to share an article just to your company page, because it's more likely that they're going to see it. So that's the that's a little strategy to knowing who it is. And since they're already your connections, so you can message them, and you can actually say, thanks for following my page. Is there anything in particular you would like to information about? These people are already connected to you. Some of them are, some of them aren't, because people can follow your page if they find you in the search too. So, and you'll see that if they're not in your network, you're not going to see the message, the ability to message them. So if they're not a number one, you're going to see, like, if I go back to my search, or here, when I search for the photographers, I will go back to people. Like when I go to this person, she's a second, okay? So I can see, Thomas Barr from Local First, okay? So, usually I'll, you're probably a member of Local First, so you could just send a connection request, and you could send a note, so forth. If there are still some networking events starting to come up again. And if you go to, one of these and you meet somebody or wherever, you ask them to connect with you. And so you can message them. Oh, you can message them. Free message. Why? Okay, this is new. Hold on. You not to be able to do this. The open profile premium feature shows anyone on LinkedIn to contact a premium member for free. Oh, even if they're not in the sender's network. All LinkedIn members can see the full profiles of premium members who have enabled open profile. This is a new feature. Okay, to be an open profile member, you must have a premium subscription. Okay, so to pay or not to pay. So they have different, so if I pop over to the premium subscriptions, so I'm just going to see all plans here. So this, depending on what you need to do, okay, if you're a recruiter and you need, to be able to find and hire talent, if you're a hiring manager, or you're looking for somebody specific, and you're going to need to go outside of your network, then you might want to do this. If you're trying to, if you're in sales of whatever, real estate, insurance, or whatever, then you have the Sales Navigator. And obviously the career one. I mean, LinkedIn basically started as a career advancement networking place, but it just grew to so much more than that, So you can try it free for 30 days, and then you can see if it works for you, and then just cancel if you don't want to keep it going. So that's the trick, to pay or not to pay. So I tried the career one for a while, a few years ago, when I was looking for a full-time job or a part-time job, and it just really didn't help me at all. you know, and so I was just suggesting to somebody who did, you know, insurance and was in finance, to do the Sales Navigator one, and it actually creates a contact management system where you can keep track of who you're emailing and when you emailed them and if they responded and so forth, you know. So it just adds another tool to it. So if you want direct sales in there, that's what that has to offer. This was interesting. So apparently she has a premium account, and so I can message her. And I could just go ahead and click connect, and it was like, you know, hi, I don't have any photographers as my number ones right now. You know, let's connect, you know. So, you know, so I can send her that type of message and ask you to connect with me. Okay, any other questions? So let me show you, let me go back to the page.
Giselle?
Uh-huh.
Hi, this is Gladys. I have a question about, like, I'm just starting to use LinkedIn, and
Okay.
I'm a small business owner, and I work with people a lot online. I help them organize and digitize their photos and tell their stories and put them in
Okay.
permanent online storage. So I
Okay.
keep getting a lot of people in my own industry wanting to connect with me, and I'm just like, why would I connect with people that are like, you know, doing the same thing I'm doing? And I don't like, what's the strategy
that
for
happens to me
connecting?
too. I get especially a lot of website developer people, you know, and it's like I got my web guy that I send my people to, and so far he hasn't told me that he's too busy to, you know, to stop taking referrals. So and I got some backup people too already. So and I just don't connect with them. I ignore them. Unfortunately, they because I don't know if, you know, I mean, it gets to the point. I guess there's different reasons why they would want to do that, because once you connect with somebody, they can see all your connections.
Right.
So they can, you know, they'll become a number two to the other person. So then all of a sudden they can connect with more people. Okay. So yeah, they may want to steal some people from you. Okay. So that's the reason not to connect with them. But they may also be, I mean, you may get to a point that I don't think I'm not there yet, definitely, that I'm not taking new business because I'm too busy. So it's like, you know, no, I can't get to your project right now, but you know, give me a week. I'll be able to, when I finish this project, I can get to yours. Okay. You know, so I never turn down business. I'm not at the point that I'm referring them to somebody else, unless it's something that I can't do, you know. So then you want a more fancy website, then I send them to my web guy. You know, if you want to learn how to do it yourself, I can help you with that. But you know, so it just depends on it. I also don't connect with anybody that's out of state or out of my country, I should say, out of the country. Out of state, again, it depends on who they are and if I see if there's a benefit to the connection. Usually people just want me to refer people to them, and I'm like, I'm not going to, because I like to keep, I'm in Arizona and I like to keep business in Arizona, you know. So unless you can't find it in Arizona, you've got to go outside of the state. But still, I want to stay in the US, you know. So that's just the way I feel, and so I'll just ignore them, you know, like, whoop, I don't know this person, goodbye, you know. But that it's going to happen. There's no way you can really turn that off, unfortunately. But again, go ahead, you know, try to connect with people, you know, that way when you post content on the time saving benefits of using your business, and you know, examples of projects that you finished. You can get reviews and recommendations from people too, you know. So that's the kind of stuff you want to post, and samples of you know, screenshots of what you do.
Okay, and like somebody mentioned the other day that a lot of estate attorneys, you know, need, like, what are they going to do with the photos from an estate? And so they said that might be a good market to like look
Possibly. Yeah.
So do I just ask for connections to those people? Is that what I do?
Or you can go to the groups, like search for where are you located?
I'm in Phoenix here.
You're in Phoenix. Okay, yeah. So, let's see, estate attorney. Okay, and then you go to groups.
Okay.
So, you can, but this is something you can do. They don't have to be in Arizona. You can be anywhere, right?
Right,
Basically?
they can be anywhere.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So like here, for instance, here, estate planning group. So here's like 10,000 members.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Elder law, elder care, estate planning group. Okay. So you can join the group and then post, when you're putting together, images of an estate and that kind of thing, and you want to put it, all together. So, and this is an open group, so you can join it. No one's gonna check you. The only thing is, the owners, the admins, if you can't spam them actually, so that's, but this would be a good group to join. Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I-
So,
Yes, since I'm new to all this, I'm just like, this connection thing. Thank you today for having this about the business page, because I didn't even know that that was a separate thing. So that will be helpful. So I'll be making one of those, but just like in the basics of connecting.
now I have that, like I said, I covered that last week. That's why I split it into 2 parts, but I've got that
Oh, I
video, so
missed-
I'll send you,
missed-
I got it, it's recorded. So I'll
Okay.
send you the video. It'll be in the email in case you missed the personal one. Here it is. So it'll be in the, you'll have both videos in the email that I send out. Yeah, 'cause
Perfect. Thank you.
they really go together. Yeah.
And
And it
then
goes
how
into
do
more
we get
detail.
how do we get a copy of your book? Is it digital?
This one is, yes. I'm still in the process of working on a print workbook, but it is, the link will be in the email I send you. Yes.
Okay, great. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, I think I covered just about everything on here.
I really like your graphics too.
Thank you. I use Pixabay. It's a free graphics place where you can get graphics and pictures, and that's where I found these arrows. So that actually gave me the idea for the color of my cover. So, and I did the
well,
cover. I did the cover on Canva. on Canva.
I use all those too, and good job on the DIY.
Thanks. Thanks. Yeah. So, okay. Any other questions?
You mentioned that you use, was Sendable how you schedule things, or was it the
Yes.
one that you just briefly showed and I took a quick
Okay, that's
screenshot of?
deliberate. Yeah, that's deliberate. Okay, but yeah, then I also use Sendable. So let me move this thing out of the way. Get that out of the way. All right. I started using Sendable at the beginning of this year because there was, and there'll be a link to it. I love this so much I became an affiliate.
Okay.
So there'll be a link to it in the email. So you can schedule out to several one, even Google My Business. Okay, because that's important. In fact, there was something else I needed to put to Google My Business. I forgot. It's Google. Okay, you might not get that much traction on the posts themselves, but just it's on Google. Okay, and so you can post to the LinkedIn business pages, to the Facebook business pages, even to your YouTube channel. This is new. They added this one. But it's just saves so much time, and then you can also replicate your posts, not so you post them every single day, but you can post them like every 2 weeks or something like that. You can schedule them out, and it gives you fantastic analytics. So you don't have to go into the individual, you don't have to go to LinkedIn Analytics to see how well your page did and your post did. It's right there in the system. I think that's what impressed me the most. I'm like, I don't have to, before I used to have to go to each individual, if I was working for a client, I would have to go to each individual network to go to their analytics and copy paste the stuff. And here it's all in one platform. That's what I loved it. I love it better than Hootsuite. better than Buffer. Deliver It has a different purpose because it has the automatic, as soon as something's posted, sending it out. That's not available here yet. They may add it in there at some point, but they give you content ideas too. And it's a really good, it's just really great. It gives you hashtag ideas. And I mean, I'm really impressed with this tool. Yep. So that is Sendable. Yeah.
Okay, so it's for scheduling social media posts, whereas Deliver It is pulling stuff off of RSS feeds, correct?
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Please send your affiliate links for those, okay?
I will, definitely. It's going to be in the email that you get. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and then you'll also be added to my newsletter that comes out with lots of articles. Yay! Okay. Any other
No,
questions?
I just have to say, I've attended so many LinkedIn webinars, and this is far and away one of the best ones I've attended. I've got pages and pages of notes, and some of them you're just like, oh my God, I just spent an hour and I only got one little tiny tip,
Yeah, exactly. I've been doing this for a while, and one of the reasons I started teaching this is that the average business owner is not a techie person. And I've run into people that are the least techie people I've ever met. Okay, but they have a business and they need to promote their businesses and they have to use the technology. But and if you explain it in analogies, then then they start wrapping their brains around it, and that kind of wall of the technophobe wall, just of confusion and overwhelming stuff just goes away. It's like, oh, I get it. And even when I've done personal classes, I see it in their faces, like, and I was like, you just got it, didn't you? And so she said, yeah. So it's like, I see, that's why I do this. Yeah. So yeah, and I do one-on-one training too, besides groups. And I now do SEO copywriting. I've added that as a service, and build your own DIY WordPress website. That's my also added new service also. So thank you, everyone.
Giselle, one
coming.
last question.
Uh-huh.
What about the frequency of posting? I have a sense that LinkedIn is different than some of the other platforms. And now that you have opened up my mind to personal and business, how does the frequency of posting compare?
It really, well, for instance, if I have the stuff that's going off on Deliver It, okay, so, like mine, went out when I did a new post 16 hours ago, okay, so this one was 10 hours ago, this one 3 hours ago, this was 2 days ago, so the automatics, again, and be careful when you do RSS feeds. For instance, when I was managing Scores social media, I had Entrepreneur Magazine, and they have like 200 articles a day. Okay, that's a little overdoing it. Okay, and there was another one too that it was like 100 articles a day. So it's like, okay, that's a little too much. So you want, when you find RSS feeds of trusted sources, you want to find ones that do no more than like 1 or 2 a day. And so like Social Media Examiner will do, like they were 8 hours ago. Yoast too, maybe they'll do. Yoast is the SEO plugin that I use for WordPress, and so they SEO really good ones. So you don't want to do too much, but then posting something daily is a good idea, because you want to stay top of mind, right? So usually 1 or 2 a day, 3 a day, so it depends on what you're doing. Obviously, if I have stuff going from, like, if you go back, let's go back to my feed here. Okay, so you'll see, and so this is my feed of everybody that I am following. So if I go back to activity, so here's my activity. So this was like 3 hours ago. This came from Yoast. So this came from Deliveroo. All of these came from Deliveroo. So and they added to the how long the read is. So it says like 1 minute read. So that really helps too, because that's a new feature in there. So people can decide, okay, I've got 9 minutes. Okay, so 9 minutes. So that's one. This was a very interesting one, and so I'm like, I highlighted that one in my reader, and so I was like, this is a really good one. So why aren't I'm an affiliate of something else, and I had like 600 clicks and no sales. I'm like, wait a minute here, okay, I'm doing something wrong. Something's wrong here, because that doesn't make sense. So that's one of the things. So this was one of mine. So this was mine that I just, it's an older post that I just updated and reposted it as new. So you'll see this was another one. And then I shared the LinkedIn, this LinkedIn webinar thing. So I shared that. So so there is no real rule of thumb, for it. Again, it depends. If you only have 2 trusted sources, that's fine. Just don't do entrepreneur with 200 a day. And you can't, like, if you want to share from them, what I do is I follow the company, and then I'll share their stuff individually just by hitting share. But some of these that just have too much stuff going out, and covering a whole slew of different topics under the umbrella of entrepreneurship. It's kind of tough. That's yeah. So basically that's it. And there's no real rule of thumb. And if you don't post for a few days, that's okay too.
Can Deliveroo be used for both your personal and the business page?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So so I have it here. So you'll see it. Yeah. So go into my personal and the business one. And when you go to the settings, Twitter. Okay. That gives you post. All right, hold on. Wait, hold on a second. I had Houston social content. Okay. Aha. Okay, here it is. Okay, so this is they've added a new feature here. So here, if I want to share something else that's not already in the queue, like something else that I saw that I don't have shared in there, I can copy paste it in here and then select it where I want it to go. And then here the schedule is, so let's say I go to LinkedIn and then I click on schedule. So I can schedule the post to go out. Whatever. So it actually makes it easier to do that, or you can add it to the queue. They have what's called EverQueue. I think this is a plus, an upgrade feature. With queue. Oh, this actually went to the page. Nope, I didn't want to go there. Okay. Schedule, there it is. Duh. Okay. Okay, forgive me. I wasn't prepared to go into Deliveroo here. Okay, so here's where you can set up the schedule to where you want it to go. So this is actually Facebook, but I can let's switch over to LinkedIn. So like for LinkedIn, I don't post on Sundays. Okay, so usually just business hours. I don't do Monday mornings. Saturday I do early in the morning in case I catch some people there, and I stop after 2 o'clock on Friday on the business page. And so the personal page will have a different schedule, slightly different schedule. So I'll so it's going in different hours. See, this one's not posting Saturday at all. So if something gets into the queue after 4 o'clock, it'll go in on Monday. So when I do a new post and I put add to queue, it'll add it to the queue. So it'll put it into the next available space that's empty. So so it's pretty cool. Now this is EverQueue is a plus update. So here, what you can do with that is, and this is a feature Sendable has with your basic Sendable is like $29 a month, but it's so worth it. And you can actually repost, schedule out post to repost. But again, you can set up a schedule also there too. So, okay. Any other questions?
Is the idea to post then things that are in the industry of interest to your viewers, but not necessarily from your competition?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly that. Absolutely.
This was excellent, Giselle. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us. Okay, let's get this
Would
out
you
of
like
here.
us
Okay.
to, would you like us to write a testimonial? And if so, where?
Oh, I would love it. Absolutely. Yeah, you can go into my LinkedIn and you can send a connection request if I'm not connected to you, and then you can add a recommendation on on there, and then I'll also put them on my website.
Okay,
But,
great.
yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks. Okay, I lost my mouse. There we go. Oh, I didn't even touch it, and it moved up there. Oh, this is so weird. All right. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. And next week I'm doing content marketing, so you'll see that one in the newsletter. So you're more than happy to see you over there next week. So I'll be doing mostly on Thursdays. And since I'm recording them, I'm coming up with new ones that I haven't done before, so so other things will be available, things that I see, people asking a lot of questions and people like totally lost, that kind of thing. So thank you again. And again, if you have other questions, just email me or contact me in any of the social media. So have a wonderful rest of the day, and we'll see you online.
Thank you for watching. If this video helped you, please like it and subscribe to her channel. Then, click on over to the AZ Social Media Wiz website to download the free Define Your Target Market Workbook, or schedule a free 15-minute phone consultation and review of your marketing efforts.